What's up, you red brick souls out there? We're gonna take a walk here, just doing something while Linda's cooking some dinner tonight here. So we're getting ready for dinner. I was looking at it, and we're always thinking about red bricks, talking about red bricks. So we're gonna take you a walk to what you're seeing here, Jefferson County, Washington Courthouse, and a narrative they give us, and one that a meltologist is going to give you. And I am a meltologist. I'm proud to be a meltologist, to be a collective of a group of men and women who are truth tellers and the people that I admire in this realm. So, as a meltologist, allow me to lay out the obvious, because once you see it, you can't unsee it. They say the Jefferson County Courthouse in Washington was built between 1890 and 1892. 2 years, folks. Huh? That glorious building right there. 2 years, they say it was built. Okay? By a guy who got all kinds of award and built crap everywhere in short periods of time, right? So they give you that narrative, They say that Jefferson County in Washington was built between 1890 and 1892. Just 2 years. 2 years to erect a towering, Romanesque, what they want to call it, fortress with a 124-foot clock tower, imported St. Louis red bricks, that's what they tell you, and nearly 800 tons of sandstone from Alaska, all while the area was still developing basic infrastructure. Really? Come on, folks. So let's be real. This isn't a construction. This is a preservation. They merely preserved this. This is a pocket. Let's be real. This is not construction. This is a preservation. What we're dealing with is yet another pocket of survival here in the red brick realm. A building that somehow withstood the catastrophic melting and flooding that erased prior civilizations, now repurposed and passed off as the work of a 19th century mason with wagons and pulley systems. This glorious building, right? Listen, millions of smooth-faced red bricks were used in the structure, bricks that had to be fired, shipped, stacked, mortared, aligned with near-perfect symmetry. And we're supposed to believe that all that happened in just 2 years, during a time when they didn't even have modernized cranes or modern concrete for that matter. No, sir. That's not construction. That's restoration. What they really did in those 2 years was patch it up, maybe cleared some melt rubble, replaced melted rock faces, added trim, gave it a coat of history, and call it new. The real story is far older, far deeper. Look at chemtrails in the sky. The real story is, like I said, etched in every brick, every charred facade, every scorched line of symmetry that screams, "We were melted." That courthouse that stands not as proof of the 1890s craftsmanship, but as evidence of a forgotten civilization. Its survival is rare and its story rewritten, but we, the meltologists, are here to correct the record. These aren't old buildings, they're ancient survivors, remnants of a realm reshaped by heat, pressure, and lies. And Jefferson County Courthouse is just another monument in plain sight, an untouched witness to the great melt they pretend never happened. Who's coming to visit? So, how about some food for thought about this building here? What I'm talking about. There's an estimate about 5 million bricks, perhaps more, that's involved in this, let alone the sandstone story. But they don't give you a count of how many bricks were used, and they say they might not know the estimate. Well, if you're building something, wouldn't you know the estimate of how many bricks you would use? But I'll give you an estimate. There's, let's say, 5 million bricks in the construction of this building. Okay, so I'm giving you some food for thought of just brick making. Okay, so, and it's a brick making illusion, I tell you. Let's talk red bricks, specifically 5 million of them. Okay, just 5 million bricks. That's the kind of number they throw around in explaining how massive old world structures like courthouses, cathedrals, and entire city blocks were supposedly built by scratch in the 1800s. You know what I mean? Well, let's break this down like a true meltologist. Say you had 100 people working nonstop every single day. I mean, nonstop. Hand making bricks the old fashioned way, not with machines, because back then they didn't have industrial automation the way we do now. A skilled hand molder could produce maybe 700 bricks a day if they were really pushing it. That gives you 70,000 bricks per day if you had those 100 people, right? Best case. So now divide 5 million bricks by that, and you're looking at over 71 days of nonstop production just to make the bricks. That's if the weather, with no weather delays, the kiln issues, no breaks, and every day is perfect. And that's just making the bricks. What about drying them, firing them in the kilns, which takes days, batches, days at a time, transporting them, building with them, aligning every single one with the old world precision. Now you're talking years, decades if you're honest about the process. So when they claim a massive red brick courthouse or Capitol building was built in just 2 years, we meltologists, we come to the rescue and say, hey, this is preposterous. It's just, see, you fumble for words, Stephen, say, how could the world believe these lies? So when they claim a massive red brick courthouse or Capitol building was built in just 2 years, we meltologists call it crazy. These structures weren't built from the ground up. They were dug out, patched up, rebranded survivors of a catastrophic melt event that reshaped our realm. The official narrative is a cover-up, plastered over ruins that predate the storybooks. The bricks tell the story, and so do we. Meltology, because the realm has been melted and history is a lie. Just one building. Shawnee B, Curtis 47, Melted Syracuse, Patty G, the list goes on. Mr. Meltology, Jen, Mark, and some have passed, like Phil. Show you over, and he lived in Ludington, Michigan, and there's many red brick buildings that took millions and millions of bricks to build those buildings there in Ludington, Michigan, have shown the way and are telling this story of this red brick realm. Well, people can't or don't want to wrap their heads around the truth that we do indeed live a crime scene. So that was a little jaunt right there, man, showing you, building what we were just talking about. If you just do your own legwork, you could do your own homework and see in 1890 and 92 how many people lived there, and it'll blow you away in regard to, well, how did they get this done? Because it wasn't, folks. What we just explained to you is the truth. And it's everywhere like that. Like a meltologist would come here and show you how this was set up. Each one of these bricks was a capacitor. Okay, energy, power, dielectric energy. So anyway, I could go on and on, but I just wanted to make a quick video instead of doing nothing, just telling the world the truth. And there we were on Google Earth, showing you that building we were just talking about as a meltologist, not as a historian, because history's alive, or as a geologist with their nonsense about where this stone came from and how this was produced and so forth. Just like the narrative falls apart about time to build this building and so forth, the bricks told the story. So red bricks to you. Red bricks telling the truth. The red bricks tell the tale. Peace. Love your neighbor like you love yourself. We out of here. Peace.